Right inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life. You're watching and listening on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. However you're connecting with the show, I thank you so much for being a part of today's broadcast, and thank you so much for being here with me on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life, and we try to do so much more than just give you sports information. We try to bring people together, change lives for the better, and help you to see the positive side of things. So, thank you so much for tuning in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and Cafe Kubal is here with you in our community in so many different places, so easy to get to. So, when you want to fill your cup up the right way, coffee, tea, chai, as well as their incredible sandwiches and breakfasts and their chocolate chip banana bread and their cookies and everything they have to offer. You can find them at 3501 James Street in Syracuse, as well as 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-through location, as well as on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, in the giant behemoth of a brown-striped building, welcoming you in to Manlius. So make sure you go and support Cafe Kubal today. You can also get their coffee on site, on location, when you go and get my nachos at PB&J's Lunchbox. PB&J's Lunchbox with fantastic food, my signature nachos, and Cafe Kubal coffee on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. So, with that being said, we got an awesome show set up for you here today. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory bringing you what's poppin', and you can go to maandpaspopcorn.com and order from anywhere in the country and have their famous kettle corn delivered to you. So, what's poppin' today? We have two fantastic alumni of Syracuse football history. Tebucky Jones is going to be joining us first. Tebucky, a defensive back who went on from Syracuse to be drafted in the first round of the NFL draft by the New England Patriots and went on to win Super Bowl XXXVI. And for those of you playing the home game, that is Super Bowl 36. Super Bowl 36 with the New England Patriots. So, winner of Super Bowl 36, Syracuse football alum, and somebody who played with Tom Brady. We're going to talk with Tebucky on so many things. What does he think about Tom? Does he think he's retiring? What did he take from him back then that he still sees today? Has he gotten better, in his opinion, as well as what he thinks about the NFL playoffs and Syracuse football moving forward? Great conversation coming up with somebody who knows Mr. Brady, as we all sit and wonder, is he really going to retire? Coming up after that at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll have a video special with Moe Neal joining us from the great state of North Kakalaki. So very happy, a Gastonia, North Carolina native and Syracuse Orange football alum, as well as somebody who finished in the top 10 in Syracuse football history in total yards, 2,500 plus yards, 2,560 rushing yards, over 3,100 all-purpose yards, and someone who averaged 5 yards a carry at Syracuse his entire career. So, ending his career with 5.3. So, Moe Neal will be joining us, and he has a message for the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, and the XFL, and why he should have an opportunity to play for you. Cannot wait to share that with you, and that's exclusive here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And then the ingredients to success, proudly brought to you by Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road here in Liverpool, New York, minutes from Liverpool High School. So a lot of great stuff coming up. Very excited about it. Cannot wait to bring it to you. And so in just a couple minutes at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, we will be joined by Tebucky Jones. And I said we're going to talk about what's going on with Tom Brady. And Tom doesn't seem like he's hung it up yet. Now, of course, reports come out there that Tom's retiring and he's all done and yada, yada, yada. But guess what? He has said he's not. He hasn't made a decision yet. And who said that on my show yesterday? Joe Theismann. And you can read it, and I'm going to share it here on our feed here this morning. You can go and read that article that I wrote off the conversation with Joe Theismann, who said, listen, he's not going to make a decision until after the season. That's not Tom. And now, in a very cool way. After Joe Theismann came on the show and talked about it, Tom Brady later on in the day said, you know what, I haven't made my mind up yet. This is what Joe Theismann said on my show. Quote, I know there's been a lot of reports, but Tom hasn't confirmed anything. Now, I don't know if he's going to come back or not. I think he might come back one more year. Tom's not the kind of guy to make a decision while the playoffs are still going on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to evaluate their football team, Theismann added. He went on to also say on my show, remember, he went to Tampa for a reason, because he felt like they all had the ingredient. They had all the ingredients and just needed basically him to perform at the level that he could perform at to have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and they did. He's not going to all of a sudden ride into the sunset before the season even ends. I think he's going to sit down with head coach Bruce Arians. He's going to sit down with offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Is Byron going to stay, or is he going to become a head coach somewhere? Who on that defensive roster is going to stay? Who on offense is going to stay with one of the best lines in football? Who are the free agents? Can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers afford to keep him? These are all things that Tom is going to have a conversation about, and I don't believe he's had a chance to do that yet, sort of decompressing after the season. It's only been a week. The reports of my decline are premature, I guess you can say, in Tom's case. So, he believes Tom Brady's not done. He says it on my show yesterday, and then Tom Brady later on in the day says it himself. So it's just kind of funny how we talked about it, and then Tom put out a message later on in the day. Kind of cool how that all worked out. Also cool that Joe Theismann broke on my show that he believes Washington this Wednesday, Wednesday 2/2/2022 is going to unveil that they're going to be the Commanders. So nothing official had come out yet, and he said, I haven't gotten any confirmation from anybody, but I think it's going to be the Commanders. I believe that's who we're going to be, which I like. I would have liked the name to stay, but of course time moves on and circumstances change things. So as it turns out, I think that's who we're going to be. I'm excited about the logo. I'm glad we've kept the colors, so that will be burgundy and gold, which is exciting going forward. It's going to be a new start for the franchise. It's a new start for the players. They get to create their own legacy forward. There's a lot of newness happening in Washington, end quote. So Joe Theismann telling me on my show, even though other people reported it as their news, Joe Theismann telling me on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora yesterday, January 31st in the morning, that he believes we are going to see Washington be named the Commanders moving forward. So pretty cool that that's what's going down here. And very cool that Joe broke it a couple days early on the show. So I just asked him if he had anything he could share with us. I thought maybe he would give me a little nugget, a little tidbit of something. And he was like, oh, yep, here you go. So found that pretty interesting, pretty cool. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. I appreciate you being here so very much, and I look forward to all that we're going to talk about today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with fantastic guests and the ingredients to success right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacted the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life, and truly appreciate everybody for hanging out with us here in the mornings and listening and watching back to the shows. Of course, you can pick everything up on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT immediately following the show. And you can also get us on numerous podcasting channels as well, including that conversation you don't want to miss that we got to have very recently here yesterday with Joe Theismann. And that's on YouTube as well as on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podbean, Stitcher, and more. Make sure you search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora today. So, with that being said, very excited to have my next guest here on the broadcast, somebody who's no stranger to the show, has been with us here before, and someone who won a Super Bowl back with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, Super Bowl 36, and always happy to have Tebucky Jones on the broadcast, a Syracuse Orange football alum. So let's bring him in. Tebucky, how you doing today?
Fine. Good morning.
And Tebucky, there's so much to get into. There's so much to talk about. Obviously playing the game of football, being around it your whole life, how connected do you still try to stay with the game of football?
Well, I'm watching the games all the time. So I put my little red zone on, smoke a cigar, and watch multiple games at one time.
And so you got the little matrix setup going on, got all the TVs next to each other. Of the games that we got to see in the divisional round, I want to go back to that. 4 games all came down to the wire. Field goal, field goal, field goal as time expired. And then the other game, the Kansas City Bills game, field goal, the forced overtime, and then a touchdown. Every single game went to special teams, leaned on special teams, and every game came down to the final seconds or overtime. What did the divisional round mean to you? How close these games were, and how special teams really got a spotlight in this one?
Well, it's good because I like it. There's really no blowouts, and all the games were real exciting. So I can tell you this: a guy told me about 2 months ago that it was going to be the Rams and the Bengals. And I'm like, nah, it ain't going to be no Rams and Bengals. But look, I started believing them once that the Bengals beat the Titans.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, wait a minute, this could happen. But coming with the special teams part of it, I can remember Bill Belichick. He put special teams actually ahead of offense and defense. It's like the most important part of the game because everything is field position. And then what was the one of the game? The 49ers game, Packers. They're losing the game. I think, didn't they get a blocked field goal? Was it the Packers game?
Yeah, the Packers, and you're talking about the game that they had here in this playoffs when they went up against the Niners.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Niners have been, well, they were phenomenal all the way down the stretch, taking down the Cowboys and eventually the Packers, who made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, well, they made a lot of mistakes because of that D-line for the 49ers. Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on Rodgers. But I told guys, like, even, watching that game, I said, look, every game I've seen in some years, Packers, 49ers, it always gives the Packers a problem.
Yeah.
So, everybody had them, Green Bay, chosen to go to the Super Bowl. I was like, I don't see it. I seen it, 2 years in a row. Those guys at the top of the division, they end up losing at home. So that's never a guarantee. It always comes down to at the time, which team is hot and who's playing the best.
And when you see these playoffs and you see the fact that there's been an addition from when you played, and now there's 7 teams on each side, 7 in the AFC, 7 in the NFC. What do you like about it, dislike about the fact that there's only one team that gets a bye through the wild card round?
Yeah, I think it. Well, me being a spectator, I think it's cool because it's more football. But me being an ex-player, I'm like, it's too many games.
Yeah.
You play 16 already. It's going to playoffs. But I kind of like the idea that only one team get a bye. One team get a bye, and everybody else got to play. And that's the first time I've ever seen a game on Monday. So it made it like a little extra long weekend.
Yeah, and there was the first time in a long time that we've seen a game play on Monday night when it comes to the playoffs, something that you don't see in decades, really, and so kind of interesting, kind of cool. Do you think there's a disadvantage of having a bye? I mean, I've talked to former players about this. You've won a Super Bowl. You know what it takes to get there. I know that obviously being the number 1 seed gives you home field advantage, so there's, it's not like you want to take anything away from that. But does it hurt you? Does it take more time to get ready and get prepared and just get yourself right when it comes to that? I mean, there's the positive of moving on out of the wild card round without having to play. There's the positive of having an extra week to get healthy, but then there's also everybody else was playing except for you. So we saw Green Bay, a number 1 seed, lose. We saw Tennessee, a number 1 seed, lose. So is there a disadvantage to being a team that's on a bye week in the playoffs?
Yeah, sometimes I think, especially like if you're a team that's you just got that, like kind of like Tampa Bay the year before when they went 6 in a row. They won 6 in a row. So when you're on a roll like that, you want it. For me, I want to keep playing. I don't want to stop and take a bye. So unless there's a lot of injuries, you need guys back, to get healthy. But yeah, it seemed like with Green Bay actually came out strong. they went down and scored so fast. You was like, wow, it might be a blowout. But they only had one score, the whole game. And then Tennessee, same thing. Some of that is bad coaching decisions. Like with Tennessee, I'm thinking they looked like they were trying to play instead of trying to play to win, they were trying to go to overtime. I ain't coaching, so I don't really know, but that's what it looked like. So why throw the ball? Just run the ball and run the clock out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, but when you come in, you get that bye. Yeah, some teams usually you start off a little sluggish. Then you got to get that momentum going. But I didn't see that in the Green Bay game. So they came out strong, and then 49ers just shut them down after that.
That coming here from Tebucky Jones, a Syracuse Orange and NFL alum and Super Bowl champion. Tebucky here with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Going back to your time in the playoffs and your time with the Patriots, you obviously saw a lot of success, and you saw a team that was on the rise and growing and what they've become. Did you ever, honestly, hindsight 2020, can you look back to your time with the Patriots, and did you ever get that feeling, that notion that a dynasty was being built? I mean, it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl. It's so hard to win the Super Bowl. You get there, you win it. Did you look around you and say, hey, this Tom Brady, Bill Belichick thing, these pieces that they're putting together, these guys here on defense, these guys here, did you start to see the system of something that was going to continue to pay off dividends? Did you know back then that this team was going to just dominate for so long? Did you get a sense of that?
Yeah, not the year of the Super Bowl, the following year after. So we came out, and I can remember we had these T-shirts made with the first 4 opponents of the season. And we wearing those shirts, and then our first 4 games, we came out, and I think we blew out I think it was the Steelers the first game. But we blew them out, and I'm looking like, damn, we can go undefeated. That's how I was thinking. So that's the first time I kind of like, we can win all the time.
And seeing what Bill Belichick did, like you said, he treated special teams as even more important than offense and defense. How did he do that? How did he display that to you, that special teams was to him something that was number one, that you had to take care of? Because we don't hear that. We almost never hear special teams get the accolades it deserves. So why do you think Bill Belichick was all about special teams? What did he do to show and demonstrate that?
That's why he's the greatest coach, because he always emphasized it and said it in the meetings, even though he wasn't a special team coach. And then if you ever watch games, a lot of decisions that are made out there with a head coach, the special team coach is right next to him. But I don't know if regular fans ever kind of pay attention to that stuff. So they usually know the game better than anybody, and they deal with all the players. It's not like an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator sees defensive players all day. Offense. Special teams are involved with everybody. You got offensive guys and defensive guys playing. So he always makes, field position. We get out there, you do punts. Make sure you're getting one guy in front of the guy catching the ball, the other guy behind. Making sure they don't go in the end zone. We worked on all kind of stuff all the time. It was a little different from other teams that I played for.
Yeah, and it's to me, obviously what he does is so different, it's so unique, and he's been so successful with it. What do you think about him without Tom Brady? We've seen success. We've seen him get double-digit wins with Mac Jones. Who is Bill Belichick without Brady, in your opinion, since he's been your coach?
I think he's the same coach. Actually, me, now young team, new team now. I don't know if well, I know he's involved, but who's the D coordinator? His son? I think his son. But it's like newer,
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff is new. New players. Kind of the same system. But I think it took both of them. But you know me, I'm a defensive guy, so I ain't giving all the credit to them. We go out there and we win the games. We win the games. You can't score, we stop them. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And defensively, Tebucky, I mean, you did so much in your career at Syracuse and in the NFL. Do you have one of those moments that, I mean, obviously the Super Bowl is important, but do you have a moment that sits there with you, that shines with you? When you look back on your career, is there an interception? Is there a hit? Is there a stop somewhere that just really is top of mind for you?
Yeah, we're playing Miami. We needed to win the game to get in, and plus, I think we need somebody to lose to get the bye. And they were going in to score. I'd be like 20, a little under a minute left, and they were going in to score to go up. And running back ran an F angle, caught the ball on about the 3-4 yard line.
Yeah.
And I came up and hit him so hard. I can remember seeing the article in the paper saying he got hit by a snow cloud.
Yeah.
And he fumbled the ball. I hit him. We fumbled the ball, recovered, ended up winning the game. That ended up getting us in the winning the conference, and plus getting the bye week. But this is another thing too. Going back to the other question you talking about, like the special teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Like I started defense, and you tell me any other guy who probably like other teams. I was starting safety, and I was on every special team.
Yeah.
That's how important it is, in New England. Started defense, every special team. At one point, I finally got off a field goal block. I was the wing on the field goal block. No, not field goal block. Field goal team. I was the wing, so I'm like, wait a minute, send them tight end be here or something? I'm a little too small to be, but I had long arms, so. But that's how important it is. You could be a player. A lot of starters there play special teams.
Well, and that's the thing too that I think people don't expect and they don't focus on and they don't think about is, if you're a starter on defense, then you're playing defense. You're a starter on offense, you're playing offense. This special teams is for the 4th string DB. It's for the 5th string wide receiver. It's for that linebacker that can't seem to stay healthy and yada yada yada. But like you said, that's not the case for you. You played on defense and you played on special teams. Just to dispel that rumor or that notion, I'd love for you to talk about that a little bit deeper, that some people kind of scoff at playing. I don't want to play special teams. So I play special teams. I'm not really on the team. You played defense. You starred on the defense, and then you would go out there and play special teams. And I guess the question to a lot of people is, why as a player would you not? Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say is, as a player, why would you not want to play in 2 phases? Because then you don't have to come off the field.
So like for a couple guys, like even Brewski. I remember Brewski. Brewski's on the field. Punt team, punt return. So a few guys played a couple special teams, like 1 or 2. I remember Tyler Lloyd. They were on like punt return. So those guys like punt return. But me, because I was so dominant on special teams, they left me off. I started defense. Like I used to run down on kickoff and wish for that TV timeout, because I knew we going right to defense. I get double teamed all the time on kickoffs. On punt, I was the gunner. Like, I'll get doubled and sometimes triple team, have to run down there. And a lot of times I made the tackle, you know, and then I stayed on defense. So it's when you in the NFL, like you got offense, defense, it's all important. You know, the roster, the number of people are way shorter than, like, you know, playing in college and stuff. So I was just happy to, you know, contribute. I ain't wanted to ask, you running down on the kickoff going straight to DB. I said, nah, it doesn't matter to me. Anything to win. Anything to help win. I had actually, going back to my boy Marvin, I did ever tell you when I ran him down?
No, I want to hear about it.
Yeah, so it's crazy how we had a busted coverage, right? So Marvin, you know, everybody know Marvin Harrison. My old roommate, he caught the ball in the side, so I'm in the middle, covering the tight end in the middle of the field, man to man. So he runs a go route. Marvin runs a go route. So I hear the crowd like, what the? You know, I turn and look. He's by himself. Caught the ball. So he's gone. So I turn around, caught him on the 3, tackled him. I remember saying, damn, how you catch me? I'm like, man, I'm fast too. What are you talking about? He's laughing or whatever. So then, here on the 3, we stopped him 3 times in a row. I almost picked Peyton for like 104-yard TD, but I dropped the inner, right? It's like on 3rd down. So they go to kick a field goal. Now we're in special teams. They go kick the field goal. I jump over the wing and the tight end's leg. I block it.
Yeah.
I block. You know, that's important. Those 3 points counted. You know, we ended up winning the game, but that right there could have had them ahead of us. So every aspect of the game, you know, real important.
Well,
special teams.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, is that, you know, those, I mean, how rare is a blocked field goal? How rare is a blocked extra point? You know, how rare is a 100-yard, you know, return on a missed field goal, which I got to see live in Jacksonville. There's so many plays on special teams that are so difficult. And I think the thing that's like literally the bread and butter of it all, and to really just put it all in one place and be clear about it, Tebucky, is special teams creates field position. Where your punter places the ball and where your special teams unit gets to when that ball comes down, that declares where they're going to start. And then on the other side of it, on kickoffs and punt returns, what you do on special teams decides where you're going to start off. So special teams literally declares how short or long the field's going to be. And so in that case, looking at it as very basic and simple as that is, special teams is the most important part of the game because it's the difference between telling your quarterback you have to go 40 yards or 80 yards. And at the same time, it's the difference between your defense saying, okay, we got to protect this short field, or we have more than half the field before they can get into our end zone. Special teams literally dictates how hard or easy it's going to be to start a drive for a defense or an offense.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You punt the ball, you get them on the 1, it's it's like real low percentage of scoring. So, I mean, they get that ball returning to the 50. Now you're looking at a 50% chance, 40, 50% chance of scoring. You know, either scoring or a field goal. And then the more, you know, the farther down they get, it's easy to score. So I'm thinking, what game? Actually, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati game. A couple plays they made. I think one was an interception. They got the ball on their side of the field, like I think like 2 series in a row, and that created hectic. You know, it's easy to score. Cincinnati scored, and I think another time they kicked the field goal, whatever. But it raises the percentages of scoring for the offense.
Yeah, that
And
comes.
it amps up the defense. You get them on the 1 yard line. You look, hey, you got a chance of getting a safety. That's a 2-point play for you plus the ball back.
Yeah, I mean it sets everything up, and that coming from Tebucky Jones here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. You played with Tom Brady. You know Tom Brady. Is he done? What are your thoughts? What's your vibe on this whole thing?
Let me correct that. He played with me. I'm a little older. But I was there first.
I know you said that to me last time. I said you played with Tom Brady. You said no, I didn't play with Tom Brady. Tom Brady played with me. I was like, all right, okay.
I played with Drew. He was older. You know what? I don't like to speculate. A lot of people out there speculating. Look, dude he just led the league. Was he 1 or 2 in passing this year in the league?
Yeah, he was up there, another 5,000-yard season. Yep, he was right up there.
Look, he just finished the season. He need to make that decision on his own. That's how I look at it. I don't want to, he's done, he's back. Or he's done, or, vice versa. So, everybody knows when their body and stuff, they know when it's time to hang it up.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Some guys can't. So I think, playing 44, he looked like he's still, good shape, body. Looked like he ain't having no body issues, so he let him sit with his wife and his family, take his time and make his own decision.
What is it about him that you believe has just been able to win so much and transcend time? I mean, you know what it's like to win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. He's done it over and over and over again. He went to Tampa Bay and took a team that was in obscurity a few years before, and he did it with them. So what is it about him that you think is so special? What does he do better than anybody else, in your opinion?
The one thing is that dude works hard. I mean, they all work hard, but he works hard with a chip on his shoulder. You can take a guy, say like Aaron Rodgers, somebody. That dude very talented, right?
Uh-huh.
Very talented, but he's a first rounder. He's a first round draft pick. It's different when you work real hard and you get drafted in the 6th round and you got a chip on your shoulder. And then some of it, I think, it was just meant to be. Some guys are meant to win. I can tell you, I can give you guys that were great NFL players, but never won. They just weren't meant to win. So I think a little of that stuff got, has a little added to it. But the guy, he's a hard worker, works hard, studies. I mean, I seen the interview yesterday with Brewski. I think he was talking, and he was like, "Look, his son was a quarterback. Brewski's son was a quarterback, and he said he called him like son was asleep." Put him on FaceTime and like, hey, look, show me how you holding the ball. Teaching the kid late night how to hold the ball, throw the ball. It's just like, it seems like football is nonstop. So that's how you get there.
And you made mention of it, Tebucky. He was a late pick. He was a 6th round compensatory pick. For somebody like that, I mean, you got to work that much harder just to make the team because, you're a first-round quarterback. 99.9% of the time you're going to get a shot. So, I mean, you know what it's like to be a first-round pick. You know what it's like to go early in the draft. I know you work hard. I know you were successful. I know you had a great career in the NFL. You played over 100 games in the NFL. So, I mean, bring me into it. Your work ethic is your work ethic. Each individual decides how much responsibility they want to take. But do you think that those guys that are drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, 4th round, do you see the fact that's, I mean, it seems like you're kind of going with the notion that, hey, you know, Tom Brady was drafted so late, like he had to really dig deep. So it's not that everybody doesn't work hard, but he had to show something else. Is it an advantage to be drafted so late, maybe because of the fact that, you know, you're going to go out there and outwork everybody, but at the same time, that's an individual approach. I mean, you could be a 6th-round pick and not give a crap. You could be a 1st-round pick and not give a crap. So, I mean, how do you view that? Is there an advantage?
I guess that some people get overlooked. I seen you take Terrell Davis. Look where he was drafted.
Yeah.
And look how his career ended up. You know, this guy, I came out, my draft class, who was number 1? I think Peyton Manning. Then we had Ryan Leaf, crazy talent. Ryan Leaf, I mean, he had all the talent in the world, but look what happened.
Yeah.
I think it's when you get up there and, like, you know, especially going back to Tom, like, that dude, when we finished practice, he was still out there, you know, throwing balls. And a lot of other guys will go in. So that showed that tenacity that he had. That dude stay out there all day if he had to. But sometime around, I mean, like when I came out, it's a little different now because now when you get drafted, it's all set up. And actually, if you play well early and you're a late draft pick, you get to get out of your contract faster than being like a 1st-rounder. So it kind of has its advantages now, especially if you're one of those guys who go late, but you got overlooked and perform well in your first 2-3 years. You can be out of that first contract in no time, while a guy who could be doing the same thing but got drafted in the 1st round has to wait.
Yeah.
You know, it's a short career, not NFL, not for long. So you got to get what you can get while you in there.
And the thing is, Tebucky, longevity. What can you say about what you did, you know, as far as conditioning, you know, mentality? I mean, there's so many things that go into it. How did you get to over 100 games in the NFL? I mean, what was the secret sauce, the ingredients to success for you to have such a long and illustrious career? And, you know, I mean, you won a ring, you got drafted high, you stayed relevant in the league for a long time. How did you do it?
Well, I think it goes back to high school. Like I was saying earlier, I started defense, played every special team, right? So you go back to high school, I can remember, like, we playing a Friday night game, Friday night football game.
Yeah.
I remember doing that, getting in the car, driving up to Boston, same night playing in an AAU tournament. So I was like nonstop all the time. I always been like that. So I could run all day. I was like a deer in a lion's body. Run like a deer, tough like a lion. So I guess it started like when I was back then. I was just always nonstop. Got to Syracuse. Shoot, I wanted to play offense and defense, but you know, once back then you get to college, it's one way. You know, like I could have played at Syracuse, even basketball. They wouldn't let me play, but I couldn't have made the basketball team. I mean, coming out of high school, like All-American in both. A lot of people don't know that. So, but it was continuous. I was always started, and then when I got to the league, I didn't really hang out like that. So when I got to the league, film, we practice, film, go home, watch film, eat, relax, take care of your body. You can't be out there, you know, especially younger guys, get out there, film, go home, now you're out and running the streets. That's like the worst thing to do. You're not giving your body that rest, you know, to come back and maintain and be ready for the next day. Even though they have it a little easier now than we did. Our tour days were real tour days. Now it's like being in Peter Pan land. So.
What's so different about the 2 days that make you say that?
Well, they get days off and it's less hitting. Like when we went to training camp. We were hitting all the time, full pads. Now they don't have to do full pads. Yeah, the rules are way different. We can hit the quarterback. That's one good thing. You can't touch the quarterback now. You got to pull that yellow flag out his side hip if you don't hit him right in the midsection.
Yeah, and obviously, as we move forward here and we take a look at where the NFL is at right now, is there something that you like about the evolution of the NFL? There's something that you dislike about the evolution of the NFL? There's been a ton of rules changes and different things. Defensive players. I said that, when you look at the rules now, I know they're trying to protect from concussions, and I know they're trying to protect from obviously what can happen to you later in life and whatnot. And at the same time, when I think about the situation for a defensive player such as yourself, that it's so difficult to hit somebody right now when you're running at someone, and like you said, you're a lion. You're a lion that can run like a deer. I mean, when you have that power and that strike, you're running 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, whatever. You're running full speed down the field. You jump. You got all this muscle. You want to hit somebody. And I saw it happen with my guy Barry Church in the AFC Championship game a few years ago between the Patriots and the Jags. Barry ran at Rob Gronkowski. He jumped, and as he's going into Gronkowski, his helmet's going into Gronkowski's shoulder. As he is in the air, Rob lowers his head, and so it looks like a helmet to helmet, but it was Rob who lowered his helmet while this guy was already full speed and in the air, and then they call Barry Church for an illegal hit. I feel, and you can give a thought to this, but is there something that you like or dislike about the NFL now and its evolution? And then secondly, to specifically go to, do you believe it is a lot harder now for a defensive player to play defense and to actually go after the quarterback without getting in trouble or go after him? I mean, to me, I feel like it's so difficult to have a clean hit now when you're in the run of play. I think for somebody as physical as you, it's so hard to do something like that now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made a paycheck because it's been fine the whole year. Like, I could see, like, when I was playing it, coming up for it, you could see that everything is always geared towards the offense. Yeah. I understand, like, a lot of the safety, like, what was it, I think it was the Rams 49ers game this Sunday. When the Rams safety hit I think it hit Debo from the 49ers.
Yeah.
To me, it was a clean hit. He didn't use his helmet, nothing. He went to catch the ball and he hit him at the same time. See, now that's like a dangerous hit. You're putting the defense in a mind in a way to get hurt, and plus easier for the offense to score. So it's like, look, hey, I gotta slow down, and I can't get there, at the time I want to get there. I gotta let him catch the ball and take a couple steps before I can hit the guy.
Yeah.
So and even with like the D line, you tackle a quarter, and especially certain quarterbacks, you tackle a quarterback, and you can't land on him. You gotta. I mean, you're putting your shoulders and rest your body as a defense player at risk because you hit a quarterback, you're falling. You got to put your arms down, stop yourself from landing on him and trying to land on the side. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
How do you do that? And you're like 300-something pound D lineman.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, how do you run full force as you jump in the air, try to lower your head so that you're beneath his neck, hit him, and then as he's falling, while in midair, Matrix Keanu Reeves roll off of him and fall next to him? I mean, it is impossible in my opinion, for a 300-pound lineman to hit you, not, to jump at you, hit you in case you move, not hit your head when they're trying to go over. I mean, how do you fall on somebody and get off of them on the way to the ground? I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're literally said exactly what I've been saying for years. How in the heck can a defensive player, and how fast this moves, how hard you're hit, and how everything's running a mile a minute, how in the heck do you hit a quarterback and then jump off of him in midair? I mean, these people, this isn't Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know anybody, I don't know any 360-pound lineman who can somehow, dodge bullets in midair. I don't know how you're supposed to do this.
Well, to me, it sounds a lot. It could create a lot of injuries on defense. But as a league, everything is offense. So fans want points, scoring points. Want to see quarterbacks throw for 5,000, 6,000 yards a year. So it's always going to be geared for taking care of the offensive players. Defensive players, you just got to adapt every year. And plus, they're getting bigger, stronger, and faster. So you always, as a defensive player, you always got to adapt. There's always a new rule every year.
Here with Tebucky Jones.
It's always in favor for the offense.
Yeah, that's true. And the same thing with college basketball, too. I don't get it. But here with Tebucky Jones here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Tebucky, before I let you go, Bengals, Rams, we got Joe Burrow on one side, 2 years removed from winning the college football playoff national championship with LSU. And on the other side of it, Matt Stafford, a guy who had never won a playoff game, was so good, but on a Detroit Lions team that wasn't. And he had never won a single playoff game until this season. Now he's in his first ever title game. What are your thoughts on a 2-year pro who's coming off of a college national championship versus a pro who's a longtime vet who never seemed to get out of the dungeon until he came to the Rams? These are quarterbacks in two different places in their career, yet they're two guys you can't help but root for. What are your thoughts on Bengals, Rams? And then secondly, because you're a defensive guy, who do you think has the better defense?
You know what? I don't know. You got Rams, you got a whole bunch of superstars on that D-line.
Yeah.
So does the Bengals. This is gonna be a tough one. I like to see Stafford because he's been in Detroit for a long time, misery for years. But then you got a young guy who rarely makes mistakes. So, and Burrow, and he like me, he like to smoke cigars. So, it's hard to call, but the D coordinator over there is a Syracuse guy. So, the Bengals. So, you know what? I just hope it's a good game. Great games. LA's home is like a home game, but you really can't say that this year in the playoffs. A lot of teams lost at home. So I hope it's a good game, because if it's not, then I hopefully they'll be putting the cameras in the crowd so I can watch all the Hollywood stars and stuff walk by.
and that's true. What was it? Leonardo DiCaprio. There's a bunch of people that were at this last game and whatnot. But for you, this you know what it's like to be on this stage. So what would be your advice to the Bengals and the Rams? Bengals haven't been there since 1989. They went there in 81 and 89, lost both times to the Niners. The Rams were there a couple of years ago, and Sean McVay seemingly botched it. So what's your, and I don't want to take anything away from Sean McVay. Fantastic coach. He's a few months younger than I am. Awesome guy. I say seemingly botched it because the Gurley thing still doesn't make any sense. But when you look at these two teams, you know what it's like to get to this game. You know what it's like to win this game. You know what it's like to do it up against one of the teams that's playing in this game. So what can you say about, what's your advice to the Bengals and the Rams? And what do you want to say to the Rams after you very well know that, that quote-unquote greatest show on turf, you took down the greatest show on turf?
But you know what? There ain't really no advice for the Rams. A lot of guys in the Rams been there. You know. But Bengals, I mean, they haven't been there as a franchise since '89. So the biggest thing, hey, just stay cool like they've been playing. Go out there, don't go out there and get overly excited. I think, like, for me, my thing, adrenaline. My thing was big adrenaline. I was a big adrenaline junkie, so I would try to go to sleep before the game just to keep my adrenaline down, and then wake up right before that game and just, you know, unleash it out on everybody. That's probably the biggest thing. There ain't really no difference. Don't. I mean, it's the biggest game. I mean, you're playing for the Super Bowl, but just prepare and treat it like any other game. Don't go out doing, you know, different stuff. Work on the same stuff you've been working on that got you there. That's probably the biggest thing. For the Rams, I mean, they've been there. They were there, what, 2 years ago? I think 2-3 years ago.
Yep, they were there just a couple seasons ago up against the Patriots, and in a very, very low-scoring affair that was, it was
one touchdown, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been there. There's really nothing to say. They've been there. The only difference is you got, a couple of new guys, but it's the quarterbacks. I think it was Goff's first time.
Yeah.
You got so I mean, for him, I mean, he's been the quarterback. He's been playing Stafford actually pretty well. You know, I think he had one interception the whole playoffs.
Yeah, he's been playing very, very calm, very well, and his relationship with Cooper Kupp seems to be. I mean, it's funny how Cooper Kupp is by far the best receiver in the NFL, and yet still nobody can stop him.
Yeah, Stafford, he just got to continue to play that way. That's just like saying, you know, Cincinnati, Stafford, you got to go out there, don't panic. You know, first time there, play Cooper Kupp. He gonna do what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Unless it's New England, playing against them, that defense. But New England usually shuts everything down back in the days. But and then and they got Odell out there, balling too. You know, playing well. And my old teammate Sean Jefferson, his son's on the team as a receiver. Jefferson's playing well. So, you know, I just look forward to a good game, man. I don't want to see no big blowouts or nothing like that. I want it to continue and stay like it has all through the playoffs. And it'll be an exciting football game. And then plus, they got the Dr. Dre show and all that at halftime, so you know I'm going to enjoy that.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, that was announced like well in advance. What is it? Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and Snoop's going to be in it. What'd you say?
Mary J. Blige.
Yes, Mary J. Blige is going to be in there.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for and allegedly Dre doing this is going to be dropping a new album. I mean, this is supposed to be around some big news, I think, from what I heard.
Well, I don't know, but he got classics anyway, so you put that new one. I like the Chronic.
I was going to ask you what your favorite Dre was, because I mean, obviously what he did for, you know, hip hop, what he did for music. I mean, he's one of the. I mean, he is. I mean, he's an OG, and that's the thing about, you know, listening to this and connecting with the world of music is that, you know, for the first time in all, because, you know, I mean, and it's no disrespect to anything, but, you know, some of these halftime shows, I'm like, whatever. But like this one, I'm really, really, really excited about, because I don't care what type of music you like. When people are talented, you just respect it. And Dre is so good lyrically at getting his point across that I just want to hear what he has to say. I mean, honestly, I just want to know what's coming, and I'm waiting to see on that big board. I'm waiting to see that, like, as soon as it ends and the fireworks go up, that it's going to show on that big screen like a date of when his new album's coming out. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's going to be great. So you got a lot of stars gonna be out there, and a lot of them got big, like when I was leaving high school and going into college. So, and remain big. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Last note here, Tebucky Jones, Super Bowl champion, getting it done, making it happen. Awesome Syracuse Orange alum, somebody I appreciate and loved watching growing up as a kid. One of my favorite players, favorite names. Still have those books, those guides to the Syracuse football season that have you on it. So, Tebucky, you've been a coach, you've been a player, and now you have, of the last couple of years, you have your own cigar thing going on. Tell me about your business, what's going on. I know you love to smoke cigars, but let people know what you're doing and how they can connect with what you're doing. I'd love for you to share with everybody what your new chapter of your life is.
Yeah, I got a open cigar lounge in Berlin, Connecticut. Got cigar lounge, TVs. So there's always, people in there watching all the football games. You got the boxing, UFC, everything. It's a man cave that you can go smoke in without your wife complaining you smoking in the house.
Are you smoking in the house? I just remember in Kicking and Screaming, Mike Ditka was smoking in the house, and he handed it to Will Ferrell, and he's like, "Man, I told you not to smoke in my house," and she's screaming at him and stuff. And then he put the cigars inside of one of the trophies so she couldn't see it. So yeah, I think that's awesome. What's the name of the place?
Lounge 3-4.
Lounge 3. Oh, I love it. So, and definitely going to check it out. And any information you could send to us and any pictures and whatnot, I'll be sure to put those up to Bucky. Listen, I appreciate you since I was a little kid to now. I'm in awe that we get to talk to each other. I'm so honored by that. And I would love to come hang out with you in the lounge and come see you up here sometime soon. So it'd be great to get some time with you to kind of rap face to face. And so hopefully we would get to do that. If you would have me at Lounge 34, I'd love to come out and see you sometime soon.
Welcome anytime.
All right, man. Well, listen, take care of yourself. Be well. Enjoy the games to come. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. And thank you, as always, for everything. And thank you for shouting out special teams and for reminding Marvin Harrison that you're just as fast as he is. I appreciate that.
Yeah, maybe a little faster.
And that Tom Brady played with you. You didn't play with Tom Brady. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
All right, man. Listen, take care of yourself. We'll talk soon.
All right, later.
See you later. They're coming from Tebucky Jones once again on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Just an awesome time with Tebucky, and thank him so much for being a part of the show. I mean, that's what we do here, This is what Wake Up Call is all about, man. It's about, I'm a kid who grew up watching these players and loving seeing what they do, and I'm a kid that grew up around it, and now I get to talk to the people that I loved and loved watching and seeing, and it's Donovan McNabb and Jim Brown and Tebucky Jones and Floyd Little, one of my best friends, may he rest in peace. Rob Drummond, one of my best friends, Rob Conrad, Rob Moore, Rob Carpenter, so many guys, John Flannery, Jim Durin. I mean, it's just, it goes on, and I sit here and I marvel at the fact that, this is my hometown, and being able to talk to people from so many different eras and so many different times of football, and it does. Everyone that wears orange is welcome on my show. I want you to know that. And I've always been clear about that, and the alumni know that I am. Anybody that wears orange can come on the show. And, anybody anywhere can come on the show. I'm just saying, every Syracuse Orange alumni, if I reach out to you, I want you here. And if I haven't reached out to you, it's because I don't have your number yet, and I'd love to talk to you. So if you want to talk, let me know. And, I just appreciate it so much, and I think it's so cool. It's like a time capsule to have forever. So thank you. And Don McPherson, all these guys. So thank you to everybody that's come on to the show and given me an opportunity. My Eric Dungy, my dude, getting married this year. Excited for him. A lot of great stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, including Moe Neal. NFL, CFL, XFL, USFL. There's a video coming up with a gentleman that you need to hear from. He's part of the 2,500 Yard Club, and he's somebody that should get a contract in my opinion, he should have had one. So, after this fast break, it's time to hear from Moe Neal as he tells his story exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And he tells you why he should have an opportunity moving forward in the NFL. Cannot wait to tell this. By the way, Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals, did have time at Syracuse. He was a grad assistant from 90 to 91, so Tebucky was mentioning that. Just want to let everybody know who it was. Coming up next, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, Moe Neal tells his story and tells the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, and the XFL why they should give him an opportunity. I cannot wait to share our video time with Mr. Moe Neal right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, as well as on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, where you're listening, you're watching live on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on two places on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, and on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT. I am ecstatic here as we jump into February to be with you this morning with Mr. Moe Neal, somebody who I covered in his recruitment from Gastonia, North Carolina, all the way to Syracuse, all the way through his time at Syracuse to the tune of 2,560 yards and an average of 5 yards per carry on his career. And now as he gets set for an opportunity to play professionally, he's back on the show here to let the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, as well as the XFL and so on and so forth know exactly what they'd be getting. Mr. Neal, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Happy to be back, man. It's been a little minute, but, it's always great, when we link up and, so I'm excited to be on the Zoom. This first time doing the Zoom, though, it's always been on the cell phone, so it's good to be
Yeah, no, and I definitely appreciate it. And a shout out to your dad, Shelly Moe, and your mom, Tracy, and just, incredible the support that they've had for you and just how wonderful they've been. Just what you could say about, the support system, because in today's world now more than ever, people talking about mental health and about keeping a good, positive circle around you. So just what you can say about your parents and what they've done in your life.
Oh man, it's been awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can't thank them enough. I can't be any more grateful than I am. I'm blessed each and every day to have a support system that I have, and my parents, and not just my parents, but family, friends. There's just so much positivity that's been around me, over the past couple of years, because everybody, that's followed me, that's been around my situation, knows, my situation and what I went through, and everything that's went down. So just to have people in your corner that's always there for you, keeping you upbeat, and just making sure you're good mentally. That's the main thing, man. And mental health that's followed me, that's been around my situation, is something very, very important. And just to have a good support system and people that's there for you, every step of the way is awesome.
Mo, tell everybody, kind of about your situation, what happened. You come out of Syracuse, and my thought was, if you don't get drafted, you're going to get an opportunity to be in a camp. You're going to get out there, and you'll be able to work your way onto a 53-man roster, definitely a practice squad, and be able to showcase yourself. And then as injuries happen, you'll move up the depth chart. What happened?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a question that everybody wants to know. Why didn't Moe Neal get an opportunity? It's something, like I said, something everybody wants to know. Everybody that's done follow me through my career, that knows me, knows that I never got an opportunity to prove myself, and that's something I've been doing my whole life, is proving myself on each level that I've been on. And it's just very unfortunate that I wasn't able to prove myself. We all know COVID hit, so that kind of put a little drain on my situation. But also, even with the COVID, I still should have, it's still amazing how I fell through the cracks even with COVID, just based off the production that I had at a major Power 5 university, playing top talent week in and week out. It's just very unfortunate, but it's life. Hey, everything don't go your way. I'm a firm believer, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm very grateful, to this day, the career that I had. And like I said before, the people that's, been in my corner, through this journey, that still pushes me to this day, to keep my head up and control what I can control. And that's all I can do, just looking forward, just control what I can control. And that's just to, stay ready, keep grinding, and, just be ready for whenever the opportunity comes, and whatever that is, whether that's, corporate world, whether that's football, just always be ready for anything. And, I'm just still very blessed. Like I said, just very unfortunate that I didn't get opportunity, but hey, it is what it is. And, life goes on. You can't dwell in it. You got to get back on your feet and keep pushing.
In 2019, your final season at Syracuse, coming up after that was the 2020 draft. We've had the 2020 draft and the 2021 draft. And like you said, COVID. I mean, after you guys finished up play in November of 2019, around December 2019, January of 2020 is when everything hit here. What did COVID do to affect getting you out there? Because you were in the 2020 NFL draft. So how did COVID affect the situation? Because from my viewpoint, I know that teams kind of like lock down, try to keep in who they have, not have too much going in or out. I know Evan Foster and some other guys from Syracuse are trying to find spots and find opportunities because teams were literally trying to stay within their own bubble to the best of their ability. So what did COVID do to a rookie? Because if you weren't on a team when COVID hit, it seems like it was more difficult to get in, knowing that teams were trying to essentially not have too much coming in and coming out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It hit hard, man. It done a lot, especially for guys in my situation, guys that, that wasn't big on teams' radar. Like I wasn't a first, second, third round pick. Obviously my stats wasn't, up to best to what those guys, the best guys that got chosen that year, And it really hurt a lot of guys in my situation. Like I said, if you wasn't one of those top guys, coming from a big name school, it really hurt you that year if you didn't get invited to the combine, because, the big combine was able to get off that year because it was, early March because, we didn't start locking everything down in the U.S. till I think late March. The combine was able to get off. A few schools had their pro day. I know Clemson was able to get theirs off. Just one of the schools that come to my mind, but Syracuse, we didn't get to have our pro day. And when a guy like me, a lot of scouts wanted to, see what I can do, live in person, with all my agility, benching and all that stuff. So, it really hurt me not being able to showcase myself and show the work that I done put in from, December all the way till, March. And it really hurt me. Throughout the process, though, I still had like 15 teams contact me, still, loving the way, that my career went at Syracuse and loved the way I played the game. And it was just, unfortunate that when everything fell through, I didn't get opportunity nowhere. My phone never rung off the hook. So, it was just one of those tough deals. It really hurt, though, with the COVID. It hurt a lot. But, like I said, then again, it still was a shocker that I wasn't able to at least make somebody, mini camp, rookie mini camp. And also, the numbers were down with that as well. So, average, rookie mini camp, they teams invite like 25 to 30 guys rookie mini camp to fill in bodies, with that case, like you said, they try to keep everything in a bubble. They try to keep the numbers limited that year. So, it really hurt guys like me.
That coming here from Moe Neal, Syracuse Orange running back, alum, and working toward an opportunity to play professionally, as we're here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Mo, we look back to the class, and like you said, it hurt that you weren't able to have a pro day at Syracuse. There's only one running back taken in your class in that 2020 NFL draft. That was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, getting taken in the 32nd pick, the last pick of the first round by the Kansas City Chiefs. DeAndre Swift was taken early in the second round. Jonathan Taylor as well. Cam Akers and A.J. Dillon at the bottom of the second round, 62nd overall. So everybody outside A.J. Dillon became a starter, and A.J. Dillon obviously working and having an opportunity to share time with Aaron Jones. And then in round number 3, we saw starter Antonio Gibson coming out of Memphis with the Washington football team as the second pick in the third round. And Keyshawn Vaughn, who's had some time in Tampa here and there in spots, Zach Moss, who split time with Devin Singletary, and Darrington Evans, who's had to fill in Tennessee. And that's, really the notables of those first 3 rounds. So weren't a ton of running backs taken, and there are obviously some high names there. But when you say that 15 NFL teams are talking to you, there's 32 franchises, so almost half of the NFL in conversation with you. What were the conversations like with those teams that got in touch with you?
Well, a lot of the teams I talked to were just scouts. It was only a couple teams where I talked to somebody on the staff, the 49ers and the Ravens. I actually talked to a coach on the staff. So it was just really just wanted to see what I was doing, how was I working out through the pandemic. Was very pleased with my career over the years. They wanted to see me. I know I sent a few teams videos of me working out just so they could lay eyes on me. And so that's really how it went. After the fact, this went down. So apparently, my agent situation, I supposedly had a deal with the Browns after the draft, free agent wise, and whatever got said on the end between my agent and whoever he's talking to from the Browns organization, the contract it wasn't accepted or declined it. So, and then after the fact, the Browns called back, said we're going to go another route. And then that was really the only offer that I got. The next couple of days, I know the Baltimore Ravens hit me up, asked me was I signed to anybody. But then after that, never heard anything from them. So it was really just, like I said, one of those unfortunate deals that, I just, never got an opportunity. Nobody wanted to, bring me in. During the season, I think my agent at the time, he was saying that the Cardinals reached out to see if I still working out. So maybe that would have been a possibility of getting on a practice squad or something during the 2020 season, but that never fell through as well. So, it's just, unfortunate. I just never got that opportunity.
So what happened with the Browns when you said that, your agent at the time, that there was something that was there? What was expressed to you about what that was? And was there transparency with that? Do you feel like you weren't given all the information? I mean, how did that all play out?
With those type of things, you never know what went on. Like I say, I take my agent word from it, and there's no hard feelings. It is what it is. But what I was told was, the Browns was looking to sign me, and he didn't accept it or he didn't decline it. And I guess I don't know if he thought offers was going to roll in or not. I don't know what numbers was thrown out. I don't know what all went on. This is all what I was told. And hung up the phone. Next thing you know, they called back. We're going to go another route. And so that's the only thing I got from that deal. Like I say, just very unfortunate. I don't know what all went on, but, it just didn't work out in my favor.
So do you have an agent now?
No, I don't. I'm currently in the works of trying to find another one.
So for you to go through this, and I think that, this is something that we don't hear about a lot. You look at college, then you look at the draft, and then you just see guys that sign mega contracts, and people don't really pay attention to the practice squad stuff and this and that, or the fact that Alan Lazard was a practice squad guy for the Jaguars and then became the number 2 wide receiver for the Packers. There's guys that do that all the time. My guy Jadon Mickens was sleeping in his car in Jacksonville and then won a Super Bowl this past season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, the agent world, obviously an agent might try to jockey something, right? Like, okay, well, we want to accept this offer, but give us a little bit more. Maybe it backfires, or maybe a coach changes or something happens. You're taking a risk when you're playing chess because you don't know what the next move is going to be necessarily. And so, from your viewpoint, you can speak to this. And so many players around the country are going through what you're going through, and it doesn't get spoken about enough. What can you say about the background of trying to find a deal in the NFL? Because you have to trust your agent. Your agent's having conversations you're not privy to. You're kind of going off of their word. There's different moving parts. And you might say, hey, I want a little bit more money. Or you might have said, hey, I would have taken that. Why didn't you take that? So bring me into the world of, it's not just about being a talented football player. You have to hire the right agent who has to have the right conversations and has to know when to take the deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cutthroat business. It's a business world. You got to protect your brand. You got to protect yourself. After you finish your collegiate level, you're investing in yourself. You got to put the right people around you, the right support system as far as, agent wise and, people that do your marketing or whatever that may be. You definitely got to go about it the right way. Make sure you're picking the right people that have your best interests in hand and people that can actually, work for you, because at the end of the day, it's harder on the agent, like, as a guy like me, like you said, it's easy for these big name agents. They get all these first and second round guys. That's easy. I could be an agent for a first round guy because I can talk in the contract. A first, second round guy his play going to take care of itself. But once you get to that bottom half, that 4th round to the 7th round to the undrafted, free agent, then, that's when the agent works becomes more harder. And it becomes where, you got to have someone with connections, someone that's going to stick his neck out there for you and can get the deal done for you. Because, and then once you get your foot in the door, then it's all up to you as a player to, take it on from there, because at the end of the day, you got to play football. You can talk so much about a player, but at the end of the day, they have to play. So, yeah, as far as that, man, just, I would say, to any young guys out there, getting ready for the process, make sure you pick, if you're not a for sure first, second round pick, third round pick, a guy that's going to be a for sure draft pick, man, make sure you definitely, invest wisely into, who you get to represent you.
Coming here from Moe Neal inside of the Cafe Kubal studios on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Speaking here with the former Syracuse running back. Mo, do you think it negatively affected you that you ended up going to Syracuse? I mean, obviously there at the time that you were going to be taught by DeAndre Smith. He's the one that recruited you. He was the running backs coach. The head coach was Scott Schaefer. So you were supposed to have them. I remember going through that whole process with you. I remember talking to your dad. I remember talking to DeAndre. I remember talking to you. And there was a shift there. And obviously Dino came in and brought his staff. And at the time, Mike Hart was the running backs coach. Hindsight 2020, do you feel like going to Syracuse, despite the coaching change, negatively affected you?
I wouldn't say it negatively affected me. At the end of the day, I did what I was supposed to do. I control what I control, and that, since day one stepping on campus, I was about my business. You never see any headlines about Moe Neal getting in trouble. I was a respectable kid. I feel like anybody from the university point, as a staff, a coaching staff, or any of my administration that worked for me, has the utmost respect of how I carried myself and how I conducted myself on the university. As far as like football standpoint, it helps. It helps when you're winning, and that's something that we didn't do a lot in my years there at Syracuse. Only had one winning season. And it helps, a lot of my people don't think, but if you're not like if you're not like a guy that stats jump off the charts, winning as a team helps you. It definitely helps you, because if you look at it, like I say, we only had one winning season. The year that we did good, we had multiple guys that get opportunities with teams, from Dungy, Strickland, Oravion Pierce, Cody Conway. There was another offensive lineman. I don't know. I can't think of his name. But yeah, Jamal Custis, receiver. Like, we had a lot of guys get opportunities, a chance for, to get their foot in the door. Whereas, when I came out in 2020, we only had, 3 guys get opportunity. I believe three or four, which was Kendall, Tristan, Alton, and the punter, Sterling. Yeah, Sterling. If I could be wrong, but I think those are the 4 that got opportunity. I know Riley had a deal, Sean Riley, but it didn't go through. He was never able to get in camp with anybody. I think the same thing with Evan Adams. I think Evan Foster was able to get in for the 49ers for a little bit or something like that. But, but at the end of the day, just all that just shows you like winning helps. It helps you. It helps you individually to get your name out there. But just to go back to what you said, I don't think it affected me as far as like not winning as a football team. As a football team, yeah, it affected me. I feel like it did. It affected me because you look at it, man. Like guys from Georgia, it was a guy from Georgia that got picked up, but he went to Georgia. He had like 300-something yards total his whole career, and he was able to get a shot in the NFL. And you look at it like I'm a guy that was 2,500 yard career rusher, top 10 in school history, 5 yards a carry. Got better each and every year, progressed, and I didn't get opportunity simply because this guy went to Georgia and I went to Syracuse. And it plays a big part. It's just all about the culture and what you make out of it. And like I say, and go for instance, you take Andre Cisco as a prime example. He took care business on the field, hands down, one of the top safeties in the country. So us losing really didn't affect a guy like him, So he only had one winning season at Syracuse as well in his 3 years there. So like I say, it just all depends. When you win, it helps you. It helps you a lot. And like I say, that's something that we didn't do a lot at Syracuse, and it kind of affected me that way. But as far as I don't feel like the coaching staff or, the university was a negativity on me. Like I said, I made the best of my opportunity. I'm grateful that I went there, Syracuse, that I made some lifelong friendships, prestigious university that I got a degree from. Been recently, being in contact with my alumni, trying to get opportunities out here in my career and stuff like that. So it's been a great deal for me, and I wouldn't change anything. Like I said, I control what I control, and I did what I was supposed to do, and I don't take nothing for granted, and I don't take nothing back. So
a lot of people don't pay attention to the fact of position coaching changes and what that can do.
Mm-hmm.
In your 4 years at Syracuse, you had 3 running backs coaches. You had Mike Hart in your first season in 2016. You had Justin Lustig in 2017. And in 2018-19, you had Mike Lynch. What does that do for a running back when you have 3 changes at your position coach in 4 years?
As far as I really feel like it was a system thing though. So as far as I feel like it's different between a head coach, because obviously, position coaches, do different things or teach you different things, but it was really like a system, and, it was a favorite system. So any running back coach that I had really taught me the same thing that the previous running back coach taught me, other than as far as different type of stuff. Like Coach Hart obviously was the only coach that I had that, he played the position. He actually played the position. He played at a high level at Michigan, played a couple years in the NFL. So, for him, probably could teach me a little more than, Coach Lustig did, or, Coach Lynch. But, those guys, especially Coach Lynch, knew the offense in and out. So as far as X's and O's and an ex-offensive line coach, I feel like I got more knowledge out of him and knowing my, what to do, how to block this, and, my difference between front. So you get your different perks out of different coaches, but I will say it didn't really affect as far as my play or anything. Because like I said, I was being taught the same thing each and every year, no matter. As far as playbook wise, I was being taught the same thing each and every year, no matter who my coach was.
And as far as Dino Babers, what did you take away from him as your coach? What if Dino was sitting here right now having this conversation with us? What would you want to say to him about your time at Syracuse?
Well, I would say I greatly appreciate the time. I greatly appreciated him honoring my scholarship. When they came in the office, because a lot of kids in my class didn't make it. It was only 3 of us that was Schaefer class that he kept. So
and there's 22 commits when you were coming in, and he kept just a tiny small piece of that, and you were one of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. I was a tiny small piece of that, and I would say I greatly appreciate that for seeing something in me and my film and my ability to play football, because I was an early enrollee guy. So with that coaching style being changed, it kind of had me at a standstill, just to see who they're going to bring in. Are they going to accept me? And I thought I would have to open my recruitment back up and stuff like that, but it all worked out. And then my time there, I learned a lot. I feel like he taught me many things. He's a guy that family oriented guy. He talk all the time about family, Ohana. He want things done the right way, and he wants you to be good at whatever you do. That's his favorite word. Don't be consistently good. Don't be occasionally great. And that's in anything. You want to be consistently good at something instead of occasionally great at something. So, he was a good coach. Like I said, unfortunately, we didn't rack up a lot of wins as a team. My years there, hopefully, being an alumni, and I'm still cheer for him. Hope they turn around, and like I say, and he continues to, have the job up there in Syracuse, and hopefully get back to winning ways.
Coming here from Moe Neal, Syracuse Orange running back alum, looking for an opportunity professionally as we step forward here, finish up at Syracuse in 2019, right before COVID hit. Mo, DeAndre Smith is who recruited you under Schaefer's staff, like I had said before, and that's somebody that you built such a great relationship with. You did, your parents, and, DeAndre since then went off to Utah State, and Darwin Thompson got to help train him, and he went on to Kansas City and won a Super Bowl with Kansas City a couple seasons ago. He spent some time, obviously, in Purdue. He was in North Carolina with Michael Carter before anybody even knew who Michael Carter is, and now Michael Carter's a starter in the NFL, and he's been down at Texas Tech doing his thing as well. Wherever he's gone, he has elevated the play of the running backs and helped them to be more household names. Do you feel like you got cheated out of something that you didn't get to be coached by DeAndre Smith?
I don't know. I mean, that's something that I feel like, I can't really answer. Would it have been different if Coach Smith and Schaefer was there? I don't know. Obviously, hands down, like you said, though, at the end of the day, did I miss out on being coached by a good coach? Yes, I did. Like his resume speaks for itself. Like you just said, multiple guys that's got shots in the NFL that are starters. His resume speaks for itself. He's one of the best running back coaches in the country. I'm fortunate that I didn't get to be coached by him, but at the end of the day, we still over the years, him and my dad, remained close. Like I said, me and him just recently spoke. He's a real great guy. I would wish I could have got a coach by him, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It didn't go that way, but I'm still able to, have a good relationship with a guy like Coach Smith, and I'm very thankful for that.
And DeAndre obviously worked for Larry Fedora at North Carolina. Larry Fedora just became a head coach in the USFL. There's a lot of great opportunities in the reemergence of USFL. Jeff Fisher, who did fantastic things with the Titans, he's going to be a part of it now. The XFL is coming back under the rock, and the CFL is going strong as well. Mm-hmm. What connections have you made? What can you say about what you've tried to do? How are you being proactive in this? Because again, it's not your fault that there were coaching changes. It's not your fault that Syracuse didn't win because you're one of of a roster that has 85 scholarships, and you did your job. And at the same time, after that, it's not your fault that there's a pandemic. So to stay proactive and control the controllables, what are you doing to get your film out there? What are you doing to get your name out there? What are you doing to be a bridge to what you want?
Just basically, just staying in contact with the relationships I done built, whether that's a player, whether that's a coach in the past, somebody that's recruited me, whether that's a guy that I know that plays in the NFL or plays in the CFL. I've just been, just networking still, just trying to get my foot in the door some way, somehow, because since 2019, that's something that I have not been able to do, is get my foot in the door somewhere, whether that's CFL, whether that's NFL, whether that's any one of these little spring leagues. I have yet to, play football since my senior season. And, I just been trying to hit it hard, just trying to make connections with past players. Me and Eric Dungy talked a few times. He's been telling me more information about the USFL, because he's obviously, one of those guys that's going to get first dibs on it because, he's already has professional experience. And I feel like that's what the league is trying to shoot for, guys that already have professional experience. He sent me a link to, fill out and, put my information in and being able to put my name in a hat. So they got my information, they got my film and stuff like that. So, as a matter of if I get drafted or not, I don't know. But supposedly it's supposed to be a combine in Birmingham, Alabama as well. Just to fill in any roster holes that need to be filled. Also the CFL route, I have a couple guys that play in the CFL, and they give me contact information for anybody on the staff that I need to talk to, reach out to try to, get in people's ear. And I feel like that's what it's all about. If you don't know, you don't ask. I always been taught closed mouths don't get fed. So, if I don't speak up, then nothing's ever going to change. So I feel like controlling what I control is just being able to reach out, because that's all you can ask for. You can only ask for somebody to vouch for you. And I feel like I've earned that respect from many people. And I feel like, a lot of people would stick their neck out for me because they know what type of player I am. They know what type of person I am. They know what type of energy I would bring to any organization that I, go to. So, I just want to use that and be able to make something happen.
What should the NFL, CFL, USFL, XFL, what should they know about your work ethic? What should they know about your character when they're looking at numbers and they're looking at the school you went to and all this stuff, when they're looking at stats and whatnot, beyond the stats, if I was a GM right now and I had a spot to fill and I'm looking at 20 guys, what is it about your character? What is it about who you are as a person, how you conduct yourself, who you are on the field and off the field in the community that I should know about? What about you makes you so special that I should bring Moe Neal in and let Moe Neal show me what he's got?
What makes me special is just, I'm a guy that's even keel. You're never going, hear anything, that's going to blow back on you as an organization, anything that's going to, blow back on my family, anything. Like, I'm just a guy that, that works hard. Like nothing's ever been given to me. I work for everything, that's not happening in my life. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get somebody that has a chip on his shoulder, because I feel like, I haven't got the opportunities, and I feel like I should have gotten opportunities, and I know for sure that I can play at the next level in the NFL. It's unfortunate that it didn't happen, but, I think it's a testament to, my faith and just my work ethic, because I could easily just, give up and, not do this anymore, could, let my body go, get out of shape, all these type of things that comes with it. I could have just gave up, but, I know that I'm still young, only 24 years old, and I know I would regret it 20 years from now if I, just hang it up, like that. And I feel like you're going to get somebody that's, relentless team player, never going to have any bad things to say in the locker room. Any players not have anything bad to say. Any of my teammates through the years, I don't think it was anybody that can, say that Moe Neal is not a good teammate. He's nobody that I don't want to play with. You're just going to get a, all-around guy. Like I said, I'm just, and that's just, a testament to how I was raised, my support system and everybody that's around me. And I feel like, that's just, the icing on the cake. And, so whoever gives me opportunity, XFL, CFL, NFL, at this point, I know I'm about to work my way up, but, it's something I'm willing to do because, like I said, my whole life, I've just been proving myself. Proving to myself that I belong, but also, proving people wrong. And, so it's just another stepping stone. And, if I get that chance to do that, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show people that I belong.
Mo, for you, why keep doing this? Why keep going after it? Why, some people hit a wall of adversity and they run away. And some people hit 10 walls and then they run away. Some hit 20 and then they run away. Some people never run away. Why aren't you running away?
It's just not in me. That's just not how I was raised. I can't run away from something that I've been doing for a long time. And I've been good doing it. It's just not in me. I can't, it's hard to, word it but it's just how I'm wired. I can't give up. I can't, not yet anyway. I can't just, like I said, I'm still young. I can move. Like I said, I was also, another thing that really shocks me is that, a lot of people don't notice. I never missed a game in Syracuse. And as a running back, that's a real good stat. I never missed a game due to injury. I played in every single game from my freshman year to my senior year. No injury has held me back. So I'm a durable guy. Like I said, I still got a lot left in me. So I'm just relentless, man. I know the opportunity is going to present itself, and I don't want to give up, because at the end of the day, when I look back on it, if I don't get an opportunity, if I never play football again, I can sit here and say that, it just wasn't for me. It's not because I didn't put the work in, or I didn't do the necessary things I needed to do. It was because it just wasn't my path. Football took me as far as it needed to take me. And, that was that. And, that's something I can live with, but I can't live with me quitting, being done at 24. Just because, I didn't get an opportunity.
What have you learned through this entire process and everything that's come with playing football? If you could impart some wisdom on kids that are coming up right now, what would you say about things you learned that you didn't expect to learn, lessons that you didn't even anticipate would come, maybe something you didn't even think about would happen when going through, agent stuff or the draft or whatever it may be? What have you learned up to this point that you really feel like you want to tell somebody that's trying to make it as well?
What I would tell somebody, first off, what I would tell a high school kid trying to get recruited by college, I would tell them to ask all the necessary questions that they need to ask. You should make a checklist of everything that you want in a school, whether it's make a checklist with football. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. But you should make a checklist with football. Outside of football, the campus, like what do you like? What is your dream school? What is the school that checks all your boxes? I feel like as a high school kid, you should, sit down and, have that conversation, make that list, make sure you pick the right school for you. Make sure you pick the school that's going to do you right on the field. Are they going to cater to, what you do as a player? Is they going to cater to your abilities? Are they going to make sure, if you're a versatile guy, or are they going to make sure that, you get the ball, many different ways? If you're a defensive guy, that can play multiple positions and, do different things, just make sure that the program is right for you all across the board as a football, standpoint, as an academic standpoint, as an environment as a whole, because that's a lot of kids fail to realize, like, you're going to be at this place to 3 to 5 years. You're going to be somewhere 3 to 5 years, and you need to make sure that this is a home away from home, and all those things come into play. And that's what I would, say to the kid, and make sure, you get all those boxes checked. And as far as the kid coming out and trying to get into the NFL, as we said early, at that standpoint, you got to protect your brand, which is you. You got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, because at the end of the day, it's a cutthroat business. And I feel like everybody is trying to, get a leg up for themselves. And you got to make sure that whoever's in your corner and whoever's with you is really with you for you, and really want to see you succeed, and, want to put you, in a position to win, because that really means a lot. And, just make sure you well connected, because connections go a long way, man. It's not about what you know in this world, it's about who you know. And I see that more and more each and every day when I talk to my alumni and people that's just in a good position and just already established. They tell me their experiences and stuff like that, and it's all about knowing people and that's the way the world works. If I got a guy, if I own my own business and a guy that one of my teammates with, then of course I'm going to pick him over a guy that I don't know. So it's all about who you know in today's world and whatever you do. So it's good to make those connections. You never know who you're ever going to need. Don't ever burn any bridges. That's the main thing I would say. Never burn any bridges, because you never know who you're going to need to lean on to, have that come up. So, that's all the advice I would give to a young kid coming up through, high school, college, and, whatever they want to do professionally.
And coming from Moe Neal, a lot of advice, a lot of knowledge and wisdom, not just helping what he wants and his dreams and his aspirations, but paying it forward. Moe Neal, 4 years at Syracuse, 5 yards a carry every season, 5.3, 5.3, 5.6, and 5.0 to end at 5.3. Played in every single game that he was there for. No injury kept him off the field, as he said. Also went out there and received the ball and had over 100 yards receiving in 3 of his 4 seasons. The only season he didn't was when he was a freshman on the team, and had over 200 yards receiving his final season at Syracuse. He had over 800 yards as a junior, over 800 yards as a senior rushing, had over 150 carries both of those seasons, and had either just shy of or over 1,000 yards from scrimmage in those. In his junior season, 997 yards from scrimmage. In his senior season, 1,088. Had over 3,100 yards in his time at Syracuse, which is astronomically amazing, incredible, especially looking at the history of backs at Syracuse, the Jim Browns, the Ernie Davises, the Floyd Littles, the Joe Morrises, the Rob Drummonds, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I very proudly and very humbly look into this camera and say NFL, CFL, XFL, USFL, and anyone anywhere that is watching this, listening to this, has a heart and wants somebody who is way more than a football player. I've met this man's family. I've been around him since 2015 at least. I know what he's capable of on the field, and the person that he is doesn't give up. We all have adversity, and Mo said it today. As much as I've been through, I can't stop. I can't quit. Why should they take me? Because I've never left. Because I want it. Because I'm going to go after it. That should be enough for you folks. Some things are handed to people, not Mo. Some things come easy, and in this situation, it didn't. And Mo's had a million chances to give up, and he has taken none of them and consistently has pushed to work harder. That NFL, CFL, XFL, and USFL is all that you should need to know. The man had every opportunity to turn around, and he didn't. That shows me that there's a stark difference between loving something and thinking you love something. Mo loves this game, and I would love it if you gave him an opportunity. You can call me. I can vouch for the man. Mr. Neal, I appreciate you more than I can ever say. You have worn my favorite number, which is fitting because you've always been close to my heart, and I will do whatever I can to help you with football or in any nook or cranny of life, because you're one of the people that I want to see succeed. I want to see your family do well, and I am humbled every single day by how kind and how wonderful you are, your dad and your mom and your entire family have been. You are a true professional, and so the world needs to treat you as such. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dan, man. I greatly appreciate that. You like you said, you've been family, to us since day one, man, showing nothing but love. Just, you don't have to do these interviews, man. I'm a guy that's been done for, a lot of people probably done forgot about me, and stuff like that. But, you're a guy that, that's done stood by me and, want people to know who I am and, what I stand for. So I greatly appreciate any time that, you ask me to come on your show. It means the world to me and my family, and we greatly appreciate that, man. It's all love from the Neals.
Well, I serve a God that doesn't forget any of his kids, so I would be wrong for doing that. Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and join them inside of their general store with local products from local companies, as well as their indoor dining bistro restaurant that changes their menu every single week, and of course their drive-up window where you can grab your food and go in the drive-thru. The Millhouse Market has an app on the Google Play and Apple App Store with everything at your fingertips. Every piece of their menu, every single nook and cranny of what they do, right there on the app. Very user-friendly, very easy, from their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, breads, desserts, as well as their brick oven pizzas, salads, and sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. And as soon as you're done ordering, right there on the app, you can get directions to the Millhouse Market from wherever you currently are. Easy, simple, local, true, kind, compassionate, caring. The Millhouse Market is so much more than a restaurant, and they have given so much to our community that I cannot begin to thank them for. 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. I don't care if you're a mile away, 30 miles away, if you're visiting from outside of the state, outside of the country, or if you live right down the road. The Millhouse Market is here for us in our community with flavors that you will not find anywhere else. I will drive there continuously throughout the year because they are definitely worth the drive every single time to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, I'm very happy to have in MaandPaSPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', Tebucky Jones and Moe Neal. Now it's time for the ingredients to success, proudly brought to you by Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Seconds from Liverpool High School. You can literally walk to Liverpool High School, and we do our exclusive Liverpool High School Warriors athletic shows on site, on location, every month at Avicolli's. And I can't wait to see you there this month as we are officially in February. Today on February 1st, happy February to everybody. Happy Black History Month and happy early Valentine's Day. So, and just understand that Valentine's Day isn't just for, I don't have a significant other and of this and that. Listen, if you have somebody in your life that loves you, call them up and say thank you. Thank them for being there. Your best friend, your business partner, your boss, your mom, your dad, your dog, your cat, your bird, your classmate, your teacher, your mentor, your coach. your teammate, say thank you. Because love is something that should never go unsaid, unappreciated. It's something in life that is the greatest treasure. There is no gift greater than love. So give it today and every day. And don't ever forget the power of it, the importance of it, and how it can change everything. The ingredients to success, proudly brought to you by Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Let's get into it. How about this? Let's talk about the ingredients to success today. Topic of forgiveness. The topic of today's ingredients to success is forgiveness. How do we forgive? How do we do it? Is it easy? Well, it depends on what it is. Is it worth it? Well, this is what I want to tell you about forgiveness. Forgiveness is for the person that's doing the forgiveness. Did you know that? Forgiveness is for you. Did you know that? See, we think sometimes that when we forgive somebody, we are telling them that what they did is okay. It's not what forgiveness is doing. Forgiveness doesn't say, hey, I approve of what you did. Forgiveness doesn't say, hey, I'm going to overlook what you did. Forgiveness doesn't say, hey, I forgot what you did. Forgiveness doesn't say, hey, do it again. Forgiveness is you letting go of the pain that has been controlling and debilitating you. That's what forgiveness does. Forgiveness is not to tell the person that their action was something that you preferred, enjoyed, or wanted to happen again. It is essentially a way of you letting go of the pain that someone has caused you. Forgiveness is such a hard thing to do because we are mad, right? We're mad that someone attacked our ego, attacked our home, attacked our love, attacked our kindness, our generosity, our good nature. When somebody's hurt me, first thing in my mind is, how could they have done this? How could they have said this? Why? Why would you do this to me? Why would you say this to me? We ask why. Why? And the reality of it all is we may never know why. We may never know why people hurt us. We may never know why total strangers are mean on social media. We may never know why somebody cuts us off in the road and then flips us off after they almost hit us. We'll never know why people are rude when you call customer service and you're trying to get an answer on something. We will never know why a tsunami hit in a region that was already attacked by a hurricane. We will never know why certain things happen. We won't. But what we can do is be better. What we can do is get above it. If you spend your life worrying about what everyone has done to you, your life will only get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until you get to a point where you cannot stand. If I thought about everybody who's wronged me, there wouldn't be enough hours in the day to think about anything else. Now, I have a great life. I have a near perfect life, in my opinion. God has been so good to me. Better than I have, given him credit for. And I can honestly tell you that in life, you have to make the decision of what you're going to do, who you're going to be, and why you're going to be that person. Every action has a consequence, even the good ones. I work really, really hard, and that's formed enemies for me. Never done anything to them, never said anything to them. Don't even know most of them. And the only thing I did was work hard. That's it. But it created enemies. See, in life, you don't have to be a bad person to create an enemy. All you have to do in life is something that threatens somebody else's livelihood, threatens somebody else's confidence, threatens somebody else's self-esteem. You get something they want, right? If you have a wife or a husband, somebody somewhere probably doesn't like you because they wanted that person. If you have that job, somebody somewhere may not like you because they wanted that job. If you have that car, somebody somewhere might not like you because they wanted that car. In today's world, if you wanted that house, especially now, so many people put a bid in for it and they drive by that house and they're pissed because you got it. See, in life, the better you do for yourself, more money, more problems, right? So what am I saying this morning about forgiveness? I'm saying that you have to forgive the people that don't know you. You have to forgive the people that do know you. Because all it does when you don't forgive is it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until you end up bent over in pain. There are people that I literally thought, I can't forgive this person. I can't. They're so mean. And there's no reason for it that makes any sense. But you have to. Because forgiveness is never for the person who committed the sin. It's for you. It's for you. I sit here this morning saying to myself, how do I forgive? How can I? When someone breaks your trust, destroys your trust, pushes you to a place where you don't want to go, breaks your heart, disturbs your peace, messes with your mind, makes your stomach upset. What do? My parents are divorced. Would I want my mom or my dad to live without forgiving one another? No, because it would only drag them down. You don't ever have to tell somebody what they did was okay or that it was right. But I go to the Our Father, and for those of you that don't know, I'll say it quick here. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That means holy be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Please, I say please give us this day our daily bread, and please forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And please lead us not into temptation, but deliver us, Lord, please, from every evil. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Forgive us the same way we forgive others. We say in the Our Father, treat us the exact way we treat other people. When we sin and we let you down, God, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So if we hold a grudge, then we're telling God to hold a grudge. If we don't forgive, we're telling God not to forgive us. If we drag them through the mud and we pull them down and we make them feel horrible, we're telling God, you can do that when we ask for forgiveness. You can rip us apart, swear at us, put us down, call us names. We are telling God, you can treat us like dirt if that's what we do to other people. You can treat us good if that's what we do to other people. We give God full permission in the Our Father to treat us exactly how we treat other people. Yet some people might coast through the Our Father and not even think about what they're saying. I find it so hard sometimes to forgive. I find it so hard sometimes to forgive. But I'm not perfect. And if I'm going to ask God for forgiveness after yelling at someone, screaming at somebody, calling people names, making them feel horrible, putting them down, not being compassionate or kind, making them feel bad about what they did, then I'm telling God I'm telling God to torture me. I'm telling God not to forgive me. So, as I come to you this morning, humbly, I ask you, do you forgive? How do you forgive? Why do you forgive? And do you understand that what you do to others will be done unto you? Whatever you reap, so you will sow. So I don't have the answer this morning on how to forgive, because some things are so unforgivable to us, right? But forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean you keep somebody in your life. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you're okay with it. Forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of it, that you stamp it and say, I'm good with it. Forgiveness doesn't tell anybody that you're okay with what they did and what they said. Forgiveness does not get them off the hook. It lets you off the hook. Forgiveness provides you with saying, you have caused me harm, you have caused me pain, but I will no longer let you disrupt my life. Now, if you choose to keep that person around, that's up to you. But to keep the pain of what they did to you around, it will cripple you, it will stress you out, and it will destroy more in your life than it's already done. The damage of not forgiving is a life full of stress, pain, and negativity. What they did may have been very wrong, but to hold on to it will only prolong your pain. I know it's hard, but you got to have a short memory of people's mistakes. We ask God all the time to forget our faults and forgive them. Yet, we don't do that with each other always. We remind people of their wrongdoing. We remind them of every mistake they made. And how is somebody supposed to move forward if they're constantly reminded of what they did back then? So I'm going to read you this in closing from Corinthians. Many of you know this, but I want to read it just so you have it in your pocket for later. Okay? So here we go. This is the quote about love from Corinthians. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It always protects. It always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. So when you tell somebody today that you love them, I ask you to look at this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. With that being said, I thank you so much for today's broadcast, and I thank Avicolli's for the ingredients to success. Speaking on forgiveness. Forgiveness. Head to Avicolli's every Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. Of course, drink responsibly. On the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. And for takeout, delivery, and catering, you can all call one number. That is 315-622-5100. 622-5100, and you can order online by going to myavicollis.com. That's my, AVICOLLIS.com. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is live for you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on wakeupcalldt.com. You can search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our archives on MixLR, YouTube, and iTunes and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, and more. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on any one of these outlets to get our archive of shows. On Podbean alone, over 1,500 episodes dating back to the summer of 2012. 10 years ago almost. Check them all out today by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Special thanks to Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Progressive Dental, Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com. You can go to Ma and Pa's at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, for those of you here in central New York. And for those of you in any one of the 50 states around the country, you can go to Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com. That's Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com and order from them today. Avicolli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, the Millhouse Market, Lemoyne Dolphins, PB&J's Lunchbox, Honda City of Liverpool, Mother's Cupboard, and Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It is Fins Up every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Set it and keep it forever. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Dolphin Time. Every Wednesday of the month, we have a special new episode when it comes to the Lemoyne College Dolphins and our multimedia marketing partnership. First and third Wednesday of every month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, AD and DT episodes air with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. Every second and fourth Wednesday, we have the Dolphin Dive. Student athletes, coaches, and staff members, as well as future players and past players and coaches, join the broadcast to tell us why Lemoyne and what makes it so special and so true and what it means to them to be a Dolphin. Find it all at youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com, and get more information on your Dolphins by going to LemoyneDolphins.com. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is also the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Marywood University Pacers. It's Pacer Pride every Friday on Wake Up Call. In the hour of 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we round out every week with the Marywood Pacers specials featuring Executive Director of Athletics Pat Murphy, student athletes, and coaches. Pacer Pride episodes airing for you every Friday on Wake Up Call between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course many other things happening with Marywood University, including me being on site on location for their whiteout doubleheader this past week as the MC and announcer for the game. Always great things happening with Marywood, and you never know what's coming next. Stay close to us by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and subscribing, clicking on the Marywood tab on wakeupcalldt.com, and you can find out more about your Pacers by going to marywoodpacers.com. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I thank you for being a part of the show just by listening and just by watching. I cannot tell you how much it means to me and how much I appreciate you so very, very much every single day. Thanks to Tebucky Jones, Moe Neal, and Avicolli's for the ingredients to success. Thank you, Cafe Kubal. Find them on 3501 James Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, inside of Galisanos Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and at their newest location and drive-through location at the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse at Sweetheart Corners, and of course, the coffee being sold on-site at PB&J's Lunchbox on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Cafe Kubal, putting something in your cup that is local, tasty, and ever so true to who we are in our community, because they come from a blue-collar, hardworking gentleman, Mr. Matt Goddard, and his entire team thinks so much of you and of this community, and it's so much more than coffee to them. Check them all out today. Thank you for being here. Find us on the Facebook at WakeUpCallDT on Facebook, at CallDT on the Twitter, and at WakeUpCall_DT on Instagram. Huge news coming up today at 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be unveiled first on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So do not miss it. And, of course, it'll be on the homepage, WakeUpCallDT.com. Massive, massive news coming your way at 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time today, February 1st. Do not miss the announcement. You do not want to be second to it. You don't want somebody to tell you about it. You want to be there immediately. So I'll see you today, 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, God bless, no stress. Do your best. And I hope that you can find forgiveness for whoever and whatever you're looking to move past today. I hope you find that forgiveness, and I hope you give chances where chances are due. God bless you all. Please have a great day, and take care of your